Back to the Sloan Sells Homes Open House. I am Michelle Sloan. I'm your local residential realtor and broker at Remax Time. Today, we're going to give you some free money. No, it's not really free. There's always a catch. But, buyers today are struggling to get into a home. First-time home buyers just have a hard time coming up with the cash needed to close on a property. And today, I have a guest. I'm excited to introduce Chad Cron. Chad is with Republic Bank.
Yep.
And Chad, you've been in the business for quite some time.
It'll be 25 years this year.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Oh, you beat me. I'm 20 years this year.
Yeah, it feels like forever though.
All right, so we're both old.
Yep.
That's fine. But you know what? We are experienced and we care about what we do.
Exactly.
And so we are in the business to help people. And today we're going to talk about grants that are available for buyers. And it doesn't have to just be a first-time home buyer.
No. There's a variety of grants out there right now. What kind of sparked the conversation was the Welcome Home Grant that's getting ready to come back out. We'll know here at the end of January, February how much they are for exactly. Last year it was $20,000 for first-time home buyers, and then $25,000 for veterans and military, active military and stuff. So, but there are some other options out there that we have access to also.
And I think that's really important because so many people in their 20s and 30s, and honestly, we're talking about first-time home buyers being older than ever before they're able to afford, able to settle down and actually buy that first home. Affordability is huge conversation that we need to discuss.
Yep.
But let's talk about we'll start with that Welcome Home Grant. And it's a pile of money, but there's only so much of it.
Yeah, correct. So what happens is we're part of the Federal Home Loan Bank out of Cincinnati, which covers Ohio, Kentucky, and Tennessee. They allot each lender a certain amount. So it'll vary from lender to lender. How they determine that, I'm not totally sure. But we might get, let's say, $600,000. And out of that, we have to split that up against all the customers that we will serve. And last year it took a few weeks for us to reserve all of that, but we can start reserving it March 1st. But the good thing is the best thing to do is first, obviously, let's see if we can qualify for somebody for that first. And then if not, like I said, we have other options too.
Right. So I'm going to do a real life scenario. Obviously, I'm going to keep the names out, but I have a first-time home buyer. They're currently renting the home that the owner is going to sell to them. Okay. The owner wants to sell the home, has given the renters the opportunity to purchase that property. Okay. They're first-time home buyers. The wife is a teacher. So I know there are some hero loan programs for teachers, nurses, medical professionals. So that's one thing.
Correct.
So we're sort of set up in a situation where these first-time home buyers, they have the house. That's always the biggest part of the search for us as real estate agents, and for you have to be under contract. Now, if I write a contract for them, do I have to wait till March 1st?
So what we can do is we can start reserving it internal. Once we know how much in funds we get, it'll take a week or two, but we can start in our system, start getting it ready so that when March 1st comes around, if we have somebody that is ready to go and can qualify, then as soon as March 1st comes around, we can put it in there. So you'll need to write the contract so that there's, if, let's say you do mid-February, you'll have to assume that it's probably going to close later in March.
Sure.
Because once we send everything over to them, it takes 2 to 3 weeks for them to process.
Well, and since my clients have the flexibility,
then you're in good shape.
We're in good shape. So that's why I said, you being on the show today was like all of this, everything lined up.
And starting the process early, especially with this product, is key. Getting people ready. It's with the home ready grant. It's all about timing, whether you can get it or not.
So a lot of buyers out there are looking to purchase in 2025. We're in January now, knowing that in February and by March, there's only a certain amount of money that's available,
Yep.
and when it runs out, it's gone for the year. So getting in touch with your real estate agent, if you're a buyer and you want to buy this year,
Yep.
talking to the real estate agent as soon as possible, getting a buyer's broker agreement signed, which is something that we have to do now, and then getting in touch with a local lender like Chad Cron from Republic Bank. And I really do say, because I have so many younger people want to go online and they don't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
But and I'm going to put you in my category, for old people like us, it's important that you do have somebody to talk to when you need it.
Yeah. It's key. While I've been doing this 25 years and worked for large banks and I can still lend, in various states. It's great because I do know the area. Kentucky, Indiana. That's primarily where I've lent. So having somebody local is huge, because then, I like to attend my closings. So it means I get to come out, and a lot of times, while that's sometimes the first time I meet you, at least I can come out and meet you in person too.
Right. So a lot of the work will be done virtually. But at the same time, if I, as your real estate agent, need somebody to say, let's go, come on.
Yeah.
I want to be able to know that I know who the person is on the other end of the line. And that's why it's important for me to work with local lenders and local individuals who know what the heck they're talking about. Just like real estate agents who have the experience that we've been through an awful lot in the last 20 years.
Yep.
We've seen a lot of changes in the industry. And what would be your take? What do you think is expected in the first quarter and so on in 2025? Because the rates right now, and again, we're not going to be terribly specific because it will depend on the person, their credit, all of that stuff. But what would you say as far as the rates right now? Are they around 7% for a 30-year fix?
The national average, I think when I looked at it yesterday, was just over 7%, like 7.1, something like that.
Okay.
So for the first quarter, probably even through the first continuous through the rest of the year, probably not going to see much relief in interest rates. They did dip down here, obviously, in the last 6 months. They dipped down into the mid sixes. We had some, like the government loan programs that got under 6%. But the market is kind of watching to see what happens with this next administration with tariffs and workforce issues. So that could adversely affect what the interest rates will do. But everything that I'm reading, and as we know, we've been doing this so long, sometimes even what you read and what they say, will change. Because again, right before the pandemic, rates were already heading back up, and then the pandemic hit, and then rates went back down. So there could be something that would drive it down, but everybody's predicting we'll get down to mid sixes by the end of the year. And
I think mid 6 is a lot more comfortable for some people than 7, for sure.
Well, it's perspective. My first house, in 2001, was 7.25. So, and the market was still moving much better than what it is now. So it's all perspective. A lot of younger people, their entire adult life, all they've seen is rates under 5%.
Right.
So granted, obviously, rate determines your payment, but it's they're used to seeing it and think that it should be one way. So.
All right, we're going to keep an eye on that for sure. All right, we're going to take a quick break. My name's Michelle Sloan. I'm your local residential realtor and broker at RE/MAX Time. This is Chad Cron with Republic Bank, and we will be right back with part 2 on how you can get the cash from the Welcome Home Grant and other similar products. Stay tuned.